We're here to explore some of Winchester's hottest homes at one of the greatest price points in the entire city. I can't wait to show these off to you. There is a single-story floor plan, 2 larger floor plans. There are some great incentives here at this builder. I can't wait to show it off. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Lewis, your local Temecula Valley realtor, and this channel is dedicated to all things living in the Temecula Valley. From new construction tours to neighborhood spotlights to new things coming here to the valley. I want you and your family to know exactly what it's like living here before you make the move. Thanks for tuning in today. Let's dive in. First up today, we've got the 1352 floor plan. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, single story, 1,352 square feet. Let's head on inside. Welcome inside the 1352. One of my favorite features here is actually the entire layout of this floor plan. It feels very much like a shotgun style house, which we don't have much of here in Southern California, but it's just a long and narrow floor plan that has some bedrooms off to the side and this big open space, which is your living, dining, and kitchen area. Next up, we've got the 1975. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home, obviously 1,975 square feet. Let's get in there and check it out. Welcome inside the 1975. One of my favorite features about this floor plan, maybe not crazy special, but I love that it's got the downstairs bedroom and bathroom. This is great. It's really hard to find once you get into this lower price point to find something that's got a downstairs bed and bath, a full bathroom that's great for guests or in-laws that may be living with you. Upstairs here in the 1975, what I appreciate the most is that the master bedroom is on one side of the house and the guest bedrooms are on the other. So if you're a parent or living with others inside the house, you know it's nice to have some privacy over on one side. So you've got a hallway that splits between the 2 different bedrooms. So now that we've seen some of the beautiful homes here at Canterwood by DR Horton, right here on the border of Menifee and Winchester, this is where we come back to the office. We really break things down for you as far as what to expect before moving into this neighborhood. We're gonna talk about prices, some things to expect, solar, some incentives you may get from the lender. So we're gonna go through all of that. So we'll break all of that down for you here. And now we're gonna roll into what I would say are some of the pros and cons to living in the neighborhood. So now let's move on to those pros about living here in the neighborhood. Obviously the price point is really great that we will touch on in just a moment, but I do really love that there is no HOA fee with this community. So a lot of times we have buyers call us about various communities in the area, and they do have concerns about having an HOA. Not just because of the fixed cost with it, but that the HOA payments can go up over time. They don't want someone telling them what they can do with their yard and their home. So that is a concern for some people. So there's no HOA. That makes this a really affordable area for you. Now, I would also say the shopping and amenities around here are great. You're right off of the Newport and like 215 area, just a quick drive to that area, which is a huge shopping center. It has everything you could want for shopping, most of what you would want for dining. It's just the central location. It's like the Menifee town center that you would want to go to for just about anything that you're looking for. And you're also close to grocery stores and all of that. So I would say as far as the amenities, the stores, shopping, and dining, all of that around you is a really great pro to this community. So now let's talk about some of the cons, and nothing terribly bad here, I would say. What I would say for the first one is actually what we called a pro, but it's kind of always this way when we're talking about HOA. So I would say a con here for some people is that there is no HOA. So there is nobody telling your neighbor whether they can paint their house purple or not, whether they can park a car on the lawn or not. So that could be a con for you. It's just no one there to regulate things and make sure that things look nice within the neighborhood. So maybe that just means you walk over to your neighbor's house and knock on the door and tell them not to paint it purple. I don't know, that's up to you. But that is a con to look out for. Outside of that, I would say location-wise, you're not super close to the freeway. With as congested as Newport and Scott Road can get during high traffic times, you could be 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes at times away from the freeway, which could make that a little bit harder for you if you are a commuter, headed south down to San Diego or north up into Riverside or Orange County or something like that for work. So a little bit further away. And those, again, Scott and Newport roads get really heavily congested during commute times. So, and definitely on the weekends as well, as people are out shopping and doing all sorts of things. So could be a little bit of a con for you to consider the traffic there in the area. All right, let's talk about the amenities within this community. So again, I said you have no HOA, so technically the neighborhood itself is not going to have amenities. It just doesn't make sense for a neighborhood to put in amenities that they can't maintain over time because of those monthly fixed costs that are gonna go into that. But within this neighborhood, Valleywide Parks will be putting in a park that's going to offer a ton, and it's going to feel like a huge pro to you because it's going to feel like your own community center, although it's open to the entire public. So that's going to be a basketball court, park. There's going to be some pickleball, playground, walking trails, baseball fields, soccer fields. So you're going to have everything you want right there. It's not going to be specific to your community. So you may have some local teams playing baseball games and things like that there, but it is going to feel like your very own park with a ton of amenities that you don't have to pay for. Next, let's move on to taxes and HOA. So this really helps to give you an idea of some of the costs that are going to go into your monthly payments as far as making that payment on the house. So a lot of people don't know that when moving here to the area, the tax rate varies greatly from neighborhood to neighborhood. You can literally cross right across the street and it can be a completely different tax rate based on special assessments. So that's something to keep in mind. And so we always touch on that within these videos here. So the tax rate for this community is 1.9%. I would call that on the mid-high to high range for taxes for the area. They typically can vary from 1.1 up to about 2.3 to 2.4%. So again, mid-high to high at that 1.9% mark. What does that mean for you? Basically just take the purchase price, which yes, we will get to in just a moment. Take your purchase price, multiply that by 1.9%, divide that by 12, and that's going to tell you how much per month you will be paying in property taxes. That's most likely going to be impounded into your monthly mortgage payment. So keep that in mind. It's something to consider because it could cost you, maybe a few extra $100 per month to live in a community like this. So outside of that, we said there's no HOA, so you don't need to factor that in. All you need to worry about is that tax payment. Now, a lot of people go, I don't want to pay those property taxes. I think they're actually a good thing, especially for a community like this that's being built up. You're actually putting those tax dollars towards parks and fire and streets and infrastructure for the area that will continue to build it, which will add to your property value over time. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that you're paying on those property taxes. It's really just an investment into the future of the value of your home. All right, let's move on to talking about those prices. I know you've been probably scanning this video trying to find the price portion. Here it is right here in the middle of this explanation. So 2 caveats to the prices before we break into it. Number one, these are prices as of right now, today, when we're recording this video. You may be watching this 3, 4, 5 months down the road, maybe even a year down the road. So keep in mind, these prices change over time. Each individual phase that is built within the community comes with a little bit higher price tag. So keep that in mind. The sooner you act on these, the better price you're going to get. But if you need up-to-date and current pricing, give my team a call, and someone from my team will get you the current up-to-date pricing for the community. So use this as a starting base point for you for right now. Caveat number 2, these prices are just a base price. If you do any sort of upgrades to the home, that's going to be in addition to this price, along with, depending on the lot you choose, it may come with a lot premium. If it's a corner lot or on a cul-de-sac or has a large lot compared to the other homes in the neighborhood, you may pay just a little bit extra, and that may be like $10,000 to $15,000 on top of this for the size of the lot. So keep that in mind. These are just the starter prices for these homes for you. So we saw 2 models, but there is a third available, so I'm going to give you the pricing on that one as well. But the first one, the 1352, that's the 3-bed, 2-bath. That one is currently selling for $571,000. That is the most affordable of the 3 models. So model number 2 is the 1705. We did not get a chance to tour today. That is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, $590,000. Last but not least, the biggest home in the community, the 1975, is a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, currently selling at $615,000. So you can get all of these homes for under $625,000, a really great bargain price for the area. If you're looking to invest in a home that you're going to see the value go up over time, this is a really great community to do so. The next portion we're going to talk about is solar. If you are not from Southern California, you may not know much about it, or I'm sure you've heard of it, but it is actually now mandatory here in California for new construction homes to have solar panels on the home. Now, a cool thing that DR Horton is now doing is they are actually including solar panels in the price of the home. So the prices I just shared with you actually include solar panels that you will own going forward. Those are going to help supplement your bill and keep your electric bill down to a minimum. So that is a huge pro for this community, especially DR Horton right now as a builder, including the solar in the pricing. Before, you were actually stuck with having to choose whether you wanted a lease, whether you wanted to purchase, and it had different prices for both, and you had to figure out which the best option was for you. DR Horton is just making it simple for you, doing the preferred method of just slapping it on top of the purchase price. You're not stuck, kind of getting suckered into a lower price, and then them telling you, oh, by the way, solar is going to be an extra 16 grand on top of that, and you don't qualify for the loan. So they're just simplifying the process for you altogether and saying it's all included. So great news for you. The prices I just shared already includes an owned solar panel system that will be on the house as soon as you move in, and it will help to keep your electricity bill to a minimum. Let's move on to the schools portion. Obviously, if you have kids or planning on having a family when you're living inside this community, the schools are going to be a big piece to you. So we like to break this down for you, tell you what the elementary, middle school, and high school will be for your kids, as well as give you what the grades and the rankings are for those schools. So we use greatschools.org. You can visit that website on your own to check out their grading system and scale and reviews of these schools, but they have a scale of 1 to 10. So we're gonna rate these schools based off of greatschools.org. So if you have an elementary student, you actually get to take advantage of a brand new elementary school just opened up this year, Sandy Bucelt Elementary, named after a beloved teacher in the Menifee area. And that school, because it is so new, has a no grade on greatschools.org. So too soon to tell, but I guess you could throw it in with the average of what these other schools are that we're looking for. So brand new school there, beautiful campus. So if you're gonna be living in the neighborhood, that is the elementary school. Now, for junior high, we actually have a K-8 school that most students have been attending prior to this elementary school being built, and that is Harvest Hill STEAM. And so that is a school that it goes K-8. It is rated a 6 out of 10 on greatschools.org. And for high school, you've got Liberty High School, which is graded a 5 out of 10 on the greatschools.org chart. So everybody currently, we don't have a grade on the elementary school yet, but all the other schools being a 5 or better. Again, feel free to check out greatschools.org. type in those school names and you can see all sorts of reviews, all the test score type data, all of that stuff if you have some more questions about the school system. So let's wrap this up. We always end these videos with 2 tips for you when it comes to buying new construction. And actually I'll throw in kind of a third one now. First of all, tip number 1, you're going to want to bring a real estate agent in with you on your very first visit to this community. I do not work for D.R. Horton. My team and I are our local real estate team here in the area. We would love to help you with the process, especially if you found this video helpful. My team is fully knowledgeable on these builds and will help you through the process. But my tip to you is do not walk into the sales office without a real estate agent by your side. If you do that, you've basically lost the ability to bring in representation. So if you do that, you're electing for the builder to be your representation. So the salesperson for the builder, who gets paid by the builder and incentivized by the builder, would be working for you in that sense. So I think it's best if you bring in your own representation. The builder typically pays the real estate agent, so you guys don't have to worry about that, but it allows us to negotiate for you guys. We can help you with contingencies and getting benefits and price reductions and all of that on the home. We can help negotiate all of that for you guys. So bring your agent with you on the very first visit. Give my team a call. We can be there on a pretty short notice to walk you through these new builds. Now, secondly, keep in mind that when you are buying new construction, they're going to require you to cross-qualify with their mortgage lender. So even if you have your own pre-approval already, you will be forced to go through their system, send in a loan application to the builder, and they're going to look at those numbers for you. Now, they're a little sneaky with that. They're going to want to take that loan for you, which is totally fine. They're going to give you a ton of incentives to actually go ahead and proceed with a loan with them. It's very hard to turn it down. Honestly, you could be talking about $10,000 to $15,000 worth of closing costs, insanely low interest rates. There's all sorts of things that they will offer there. And again, we as your real estate agents can help you negotiate that throughout the process. So be prepared that you're probably going to end up using the builder's lender, even if you really, really love your lender or he's your brother or sister or whatever. You're probably going to end up going with the builder's lender. And I always just say it's a little bit of a rougher experience with the builder's lender because they're doing 150 something loans inside that one specific neighborhood and actually all over California. And so you're just a little number on their piece of paper and a little bit less personal service. But again, the incentives are totally worth it in that case. And lastly, I always touch on, you just want to be aware of some extra costs that come into moving into a new construction home. You're not typically getting a backyard fully landscaped. It's usually just going to be a small patch of concrete. And by small, I mean like the size of this table that you can walk out onto into your backyard, and then it's dirt. And it's going to be up to you to get something done with that backyard. And keep in mind, those prices have gone up over the years. And also typically blinds and window coverings are not included in these homes. So you're going to want to account for, maybe $2,000 to $3,000 to bring somebody in day one to put up some window coverings so that you're not staring at your neighbors the second that you move in. So those are my 3 tips for you guys as far as moving into new construction. I hope you guys enjoyed today's content. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. If you have any questions about moving here to the Temecula Valley, about these new construction homes here, leave a comment below. We monitor that on a daily basis and we'll get right back to you. If you're curious about these homes and want to know more or about other communities, watch our other videos or schedule a Zoom call with my team. You can find that link here on our page. And last but not least, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and we'll see you next time.